Hi, my name is Kayla Keene. This is my response for Unit 3. The focus of this unit was going beyond Unit 2, which was good intentions and unintended consequences, and looking at a broader perspective, something called critical consciousness. So, looking at the two volunteers that we were given descriptions of. To volunteer one, I would say I love the enthusiasm. Um, it's really necessary, I think, in any project, but the motivation has to be a lot more than a little help is better than nothing. That's not always the case, especially volunteer one seems to be focused on checking a box, um, being able to say he or she helped. And yes, I'm using the quotation marks to infer more. And then she's not actually taking time to find out like what the community members want or need. Volunteer one just thinks that building a roof on this school, fixing the leaking, is going to fix a problem that's rooted much deeper than the building and the architecture. So I would, my advice to volunteer one would be that he or she needs to really find that critical consciousness that's required for successful change. Take some time, talk to community members, figure out what they want, learn about the education system, learn where the oppression is really rooted in. Um, and then you can find where to direct all that positive energy. Um, this is where volunteer two is succeeding. Volunteer two is taking the initiative to have critical consciousness, is holding potlucks, getting community members together, conducting research, really creating that dialogue to figure out what's missing from the society and what's causing this oppression. So I think volunteer two is being overwhelmed just because. Oh, and by the way, volunteer two, great way of shutting up and listening. Dr. Ernesto Ceroli would be proud. But volunteer two is probably getting a little overwhelmed just seeing how deeply rooted the oppression is. Um, but my advice would be to focus on what you can change. You've done all the work. Um, Listen to what the people have said and find something that a lot of people are passionate about and want to make a change for. Um, Focus on that one thing you can change and work with volunteers one's enthusiasm together. There's a lot of potential, and to both volunteers I would say my biggest advice is whatever you start, make sure you finish it, because even once you leave, the people there are left with whatever project you started. um, so continue your work there beyond your volunteer stay time. Finish it through to the end. And that would be my advice to both of them.